folks, today we're going to be doing a live video, first one in what feels like forever. I'm going to be taking a look at Halo Infinite. If you're interested purely in a performance aspect, there is a video linked here that is benchmarking the game, but this video is going to be about my initial impressions. So before we begin, I want to obviously explain to people, I mainly played Halo 3 and Gears 1 on the Xbox 360, right? What I played was I played a little bit of MLG. What I really liked was the battle rifle. Any mode where you could start with the battle rifle, like Team BRs, that was my big thing that I loved. Then I transitioned to SWAT. And I basically only really played SWAT, and I really enjoyed SWAT because it was about the floaty movement, tucking the head, crouch, spamming, ducking, moving about, learning spawns, and I really enjoyed SWAT. Halo 4, I recently completed on my channel. It's a members only video. If you want to become a member, you can press that join button and you can watch me play through the whole campaign. That was all I ever played of Halo 4 because at this point I'd gone to PC and I didn't play Halo 4 on PC. Halo 5 I've never played, and I've obviously played Halo 2 Vista on the PC. It must be pushing 8-9 years ago. I haven't really played Halo. Dun dun dun, some wonderful menu music. Now I don't know if this is copyrighted, so I'm going to mute it, but really do like the theme. And again, for me, Halo is a campaign experience. It's about getting 4 of your buddies to play on Legendary. Then it's about grouping up and having a right good old time in some multiplayer. I'm going to take you a quick look around of what to expect, at least in the preview. So you obviously have got your shop. Now your shop is where you are going to have coins. I currently have 2,750 gifted to me because I think they want me to obviously test that you can purchase things, test that skins work, and you can see basically what it looks like. You can coat your armor. There are going to be daily bundles. Not a huge fan of daily bundles because kind of creates that fear of missing out. Different collections here and different paint jobs for said guns. The battle pass is going to be something that you can choose to grind. So if you were to buy this battle pass and not really play much Halo because maybe another game's taken your fancy, you'll actually be able to pick this up at a later date and grind through any battle pass you want, which I think is fantastic. Now you can see the kind of rewards that are going to be available. There's going to be different colorways for your armor pieces, different visors. You'll be able to swap your challenges, different shoulder pieces, again different color variants. And the reason they can supply these different color variants is the multiplayer. You just now have a red outline or a blue outline. So one thing to note is it can be a bit jarring at first when you see a blue enemy, because they're all dressed in blue but they have a red outline, but your eyes quickly adjust, and I didn't really have much problem spotting people. So this is how they're obviously going to be able to do things like this, which look awesome, you know, just having the one red arm. And I'm sure there's tons and tons of different, like this one, the phalanx visor I believe it's called, looks awesome. And I'm a big fan of customization in games. And yeah, as you progress through the system, you're going to get this nice dragoon visor, which looks sick. As a Sicario theme, you know my channel's all about red, yellow, blue. Be awesome to have the red visor, yellow body armor with like a blue arm. That would be incredible. So you can see, you know, that this is the epic helmet you get. And, you know, just like any battle pass, I'm sure there'll be more to unlock or whatever. You do daily challenges that you can swap in and out. You can have a look at like upcoming challenges for XP and so on and so forth. So I think it looks like a really good system when it comes to Battle Pass. So it's going to alleviate that whole, oh, I'm going to miss out if I don't complete the full Battle Pass. Now on controller, you can pretty much change everything you want, from control to click to control to hold to auto step to auto clamber to all of your dead zones to the sensitivities per weapon. On the keyboard and mouse, you're going to be able to adjust everything, and you also have triple keybinds, meaning that, yeah, you can triple keybind stuff if you really want, meaning you can have melee on V and on your middle mouse and maybe even on middle click if you want. Again, if you're interested in the performance, it's just very early beta, but I have a video. You have all of the field of view options that you want. You can turn on all of the quality options, everything looking in, and obviously this is early build, so it's probably going to have DLSS, it's going to have more and more stuff, but for now you've got audio controls, hit detection volume, type of audio. Do you want it loud and quiet to be loud and quiet, or do you want it so everything can be heard at low volume? So if you don't like having your game really cranked up, you can put it on compressed. Story subtitles on, off, push to talk. Everything looks reasonable. You can have your HUD on and off. Text chat, FPS counter, network statistics. You can also change the enemy UI color. There's a ton of stuff you can do. So you can show the gamer tag or the service tag, bloom, all of this stuff's going on, right? And then in accessibility, you have UI, narration if you're hard of hearing, and all different stuff to get you through text to speech, speech to text, motion blur, screen shake. If you want to turn the full screen effects off, turn them down. If you don't like the speed lines when you're running, you can disable them. Don't like the sharpening, change it. So it looks like, from a PC port perspective, it looks really, really solid. The weapon drills are something that you can pick up and you can play. And if we load in, you can pick up a certain weapon and these are going to give you scores. This is kind of like a training mode, but you will see that you can train and you can reload, you can, you know, melee, you can spam some grenades, you can scope in if you want. And this is obviously going to be something that, you know, I think is needed. Any game that becomes competitive these days, it's necessary to have a training mode. This is obviously something, if you're watching on my channel, and you've followed my channel for a long time, you'll know that Gears of War kind of lacks this. And I think it's nice that if I just want to come in and think, you know what, how does a 4x scope handle? I'm not quite sure. You know, you're going to be able to have a look at all of these things and nail your sensitivities down, which I think obviously in 2021 is a really obvious but useful thing, kind of what it is. So this is your color, this is your mask, this is your visor, this is your chest piece, your left shoulder, and you'll be able to create your Spartan. So being a Sicario, I could have my guy to be yellow. I could back him out. Now it doesn't seem to quite update on this. Oh, maybe it does. Maybe I'm just not clicking it right. Maybe I need to, there we go. Okay, it does update. It was just me being a noob yesterday. So you can equip it. You can obviously change your visor as you unlock them, and you're going to have different unlocks. So if I go ahead and I equip this and then I back out, you can begin to build your kind of soldier. So I could go and have a nice blue visor. This is again earnable in the battle pass, and these things again, if you didn't quite finish the battle pass, you can pick a battle pass and choose to grind through it at your own pace. So yes, this is a first person game, I suppose, and you can't really see your character, but obviously if there is a theater mode, which I'm absolutely sure there will be, I haven't double checked, but I'm sure there is, someone can let me know in the comments below, you'll be able to see your cool character and kind of the drip and make your montages and your clips. But you can see here, you know, you've got the chest plate, you've got all of the customization options you're going to want, you've got some wrist kind of stuff going on. You'll be noticing that it is 25 FPS. Look, there's some big FPS issues right now in the beta, but just forgive me, it's not my setup, it's just the game. You'll be able to tweak the weapons. I don't know how crazy they're going to get with this, but I imagine as you go through, you can say, oh, what does my sniper want to look like? I'd love a red sniper. And I think this is really, really neat, obviously. I think this is cool, and it's a way of putting your style on the game, shall we say. You obviously can do your vehicle. If you want to tweak the vehicles, there's a range of different vehicles in the game, from the Mongoose to the Scorpion to the Wasp, the Razorback, the Gun Goose, the Rocket. There's tons of, you can change your body type. I don't know how crazy they're going to get with this, but these are the options we have right now. We have some prosthesis, if I'm pronouncing that right. And I think this is just a cool thing, you know, that you feel you can be represented. And I as well, even if you're not using it just for representation purposes, it just looks cool as well. So you can do that. AI models you can have a little triangle, you can select him, and we can change that AI color to be, say, red. And obviously we're going to jump into the game, but the initial impressions are, once the FPS is sorted, I can see there's been a really, really fully fledged and obviously it's Halo, it's, you know, huge franchise, but it doesn't mean they're necessarily going to get it right. But from this tech test, it seems like, yeah, they're definitely on the right tracks. The first couple of games I played were obviously hindered with FPS. I can put up with that, I can understand. But what I hadn't played Halo in a very long time, and the first thing I noticed was just how it felt like I was playing Call of Duty, and take this as no disrespect because my opinion is slowly changing, but having played it for the first time, and I've not played with Halo with sprint, and I've not played with Halo in grapples and mantles, and this was all new to me. Having played it a little bit, I can see what it offers and I can see what it takes away. Sometimes you might misjudge something and you can climb up like this. I must admit, I was a big fan in the older Halos of really floating up and holding crouch. It feels like the gravity is a bit heavier in this than Halo 3. You feel, if I was to describe it, you feel more like a strong super soldier in comparison to, say, a Halo character. And again, I'm not very good at the game, I'm brand new, but the initial impression I got was the sounds felt very how do we word it? The sounds felt very, they felt right, they felt real, they felt spot on, but they just felt like a generic modern military shooter. Now, the biggest struggles is when you're playing at 39 FPS, it's very difficult to get a true experience and a true test for how things feel smoothly. But an example I can show you is this. If you were to misjudge this, you can grapple up here, and I'm sure to Halo fans, that is completely not new. It's a thing that's been in the game for a while, but for me it took a little bit of time to get used to. Now you'll see here, I think you can slide as well, so if you're sprinting and you press control, you can slide, and then you can go into a jump. I'm sure there's a lot of outplay potential with movement, and it's just an entirely different movement setup than I'm used to with Halo. I'm used to the old SWAT style of float about, spam your jump, but this is a hybrid between what seems to be Halo 5 and maybe Halo 2, but it was a little jarring at first to play. I'm a little bit more used to it now, but again, the FPS is really hindering. I haven't played the game below 60 frames in a very long time, so I do apologize for the frame rates you're seeing, but there's nothing I can really do about it. The guns themselves, I will say, again, felt like a military shooter. The Needler still felt like the classic Needler. And as you can see here, this gun, you know, this is... Hey, dude. Looks like there's a real player there dropping that gun, so appreciate that. You can see that this looks awesome. And also, yes, you can spot with C. And it does ping out the area, so you're not going to need to know all of the spots, which is something I liked. You know, you're going to be able to ping, hey, he's pushing canal. And then you're going to, with the ping system, learn exactly where things are. And I like that. You can swap between great grenades, and it felt, you know, it feels good. Those sound good. Some of the sounds, I'll admit, sound really good. The grenades, the plasma pistol, and some of them just sound a bit too familiar to an old style gun. But that's not to knock it. It just means I'm not fully used to it. So it's very difficult, obviously, to judge a game when you're playing at 30 FPS. You haven't played Halo in many years. But initially it was jarring, and then after a few more games of playing it, I began to have a bit more fun, and I began to imagine that, hey, if I put some time into this franchise and I get a little bit better at it, I can definitely see people having a ton of fun. And I think most people as well might want to change of pace. Maybe they're bored of floating around in Halo, playing SWAT and playing old style, and they want a modernization of Halo, and this definitely feels like a modernization of Halo. So it just really depends on, I guess, your opinions on the game, doesn't it? It really does just depend on, do you want a classic Halo or do you want a modern Halo? I haven't got any sensitivity set up on this 4x scope thing, so I can't even move my mouse fast enough on the scope. But overall, I will see that based just off this short playtime I've had, I can see a ton of potential, and I can see it having a nice blend between the different styles of modern Halo and old. And I think it's obviously, you know, it doesn't take a genius to work out that this is going to be a big success of a game. And I'm obviously looking forward to seeing how the tech test improves, how the performance improves, if we ever get to see any more maps. But the only thing I wasn't too keen on was the grenades. The grenades felt very impactful. You can see a guy here with the sniper and he's gone for the green theme, but you can see the outline, how we're all different colours, but I know that's an enemy because he's red. And that's a really clever way of allowing people customization whilst keeping that classic blue and red theme that we've all come to know and love. So it's obviously going to take me a long time to get back up to speed with Halo and all of the moves and slides that are available, but it ultimately it felt like a good entrance for me. I could see a lot of potential, which sounds obvious. It's Halo, right? But sometimes it doesn't quite hit the mark, and you're a little bit like, you know, oh, is it going to hit the mark? Is it not? I can pretty much safely say that yes, this is going to hit the mark if the performance is done, which I'm sure it will be. It was a bit weird being able to aim down sight, you know, because last time I played Halo, when you scoped in, you just brought up a visor, but you then couldn't aim. So it really depends. If you're a complete Halo purist, there's obviously been a lot of changes, but there is also enough there that you can see classic Halo. So it seems like a really good balance. The bots absolutely wreck me, and I'm not very good at dodging the grenades, to be honest. The grenades seem very, very strong, which could be a problem, but I'm nowhere near good enough to talk balance about Halo, or to, you know, speak about is X broken, is Y changed. I don't know the mechanics. The sniper, for example, could be entirely different in this game. I don't know. I don't play enough Halo, but from a casual campaign and Halo fan, I think this seems like a really good entrance to the game. Or should I say a good, not entrance, because obviously we've had Halos before, but a very good platform to build on, which is really all you're looking for, isn't it, in a tech test? I will say the tech test itself, I was expecting more polish. I was not expecting 30 FPS. 30 FPS is horrendous. And obviously playing bots gets old because they don't react like humans. You can change the grenades there with the Alt key and show you what the stickies look like. You can see there so much, you know, just modernization when it comes to, you know, the visuals across the board. And I think it's a very, very good entrance to the tech test. Now, this red thing here means that this won't spawn until the enemy has wasted all of their ammo. So there is a needler on the field, and the enemy needs to waste all of their ammo before it respawns. You can ping with Z. I don't know if this is new in Halo, but that surprised me, that you can kind of just scan the area. But it doesn't reveal anybody. It just kind of scans for things on the map. You know, if you're not sure where grenades are, it will show you. These are things that, if you're a massive Halo fan, they're not going to make things overpowered, but they might help new players get involved into the game, because an arena shooter is like, okay, where's the sniper? You ping. If you're with a friend and you're not too sure with a map and you see someone, you can just ping over there, and then you're like, oh, he's in the house. And I just think that it feels like they've got a really, really strong foundation. You can see the carbine here. This is like a burst carbine. The old one from me was like the tap fire one. But very, very impressed with it going in. My first reaction was, this is awful. That was my first reaction. Having played a little bit more, sat down, really thought about it, saw the package, see what they're trying to deliver. yeah, I'm very confident in the Halo experience that you're looking for will be delivered, and which is always a positive, right? Because there's so many games that come out that don't quite hit the mark, that we're all a little bit hesitant to get excited. But I think this is going to hit the mark. So this was your look at the Halo Infinite tech test. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. Leave a like, leave a comment. One word of warning: the tech test accidentally leaked the campaign. Somehow there are files in the tech test when data mined that reveal the campaign. So if you don't want to know anything about the campaign, be very, very careful looking online for stuff, because there will be some dicks out there that try and spoil it for you. So I'm just trying to keep you safe there, boys.